Hello, my name is Chris Van Kirk at Legal Assistant to the Finger Lakes, and in this video I'm going to discuss general security deposit information, primarily as it pertains to upstate New York. A security deposit is money that a tenant pays to a landlord. A landlord holds on to the money until the tenant moves out. If there are damages or a tenant owes back rent, the landlord can keep some or all of the security deposit. If there are no damages and no back rent is owed, the landlord should return the security deposit to the tenant. Before you move into your apartment, you should carefully inspect its condition. An inspection should be done with yourself, your landlord, and a third-party witness. It's helpful to use a checklist to make note of any damages that you see. For instance, if you see a hole in the wall or a cracked window, mark it down. If you can, take photos. At the end of the inspection, ask your landlord to sign and date your checklist. This step will help protect you from paying for damages that you did not cause. Your deposit is what you and your landlord agree upon. It is often worth 1 month's rent or first and last month's rent. The security deposit is often paid when you sign your lease or with your first month's rent. Generally, it is best to pay your security deposit with a separate check or bank money order. If you pay by check, you should write security deposit on it. Ask your landlord to issue a receipt for your security deposit. Save your canceled check, the carbon copy of your money order, or the receipt that you received from your landlord. This is proof that you paid your security deposit. Because a security deposit is used as protection for damages that a tenant may cause, your landlord does not have to accept your security deposit as last month's rent. However, they can agree to do so. If your landlord does agree to use your security deposit as last month's rent, ask him or her to give you a paid in full receipt for that month. If your landlord does not give you a receipt, you could be evicted for failure to pay before you are ready to move out. If you live in a building with 6 or more rental units, your landlord must place your security deposit in a separate savings account. Your landlord must also notify you in writing of the name and address of that bank. The landlord may keep 1% of the interest on the account, but the rest belongs to you. Your landlord does not have to give you the interest each year. Your landlord does have to return the interest with the security deposit when you move out. If there are fewer than 6 rental units in the building where you live, your landlord is only required to put your security deposit in a separate bank account. This account does not have to pay interest, but if it does, the interest is again divided, 1% for your landlord and the rest going to you. Your landlord can keep some of your security deposit money if you damage the apartment. However, your landlord should return any part of the deposit that was not used to make necessary repairs. If you disagree with the amount your landlord charged you for repairs, ask to see receipts. If you owe back rent to your landlord again may keep some or all of your security deposit for rent arrears. However, your landlord should return any part of your deposit that was not used to cover back rent. Your landlord does not have to return your security deposit before you move out or on the day that you move out. New York State law requires that a landlord has reasonable time to inspect your apartment for damages. Reasonable time generally means between 30 to 60 days for your landlord to return the security deposit. If you are able to, take pictures before you move out of your apartment. Also, if you can, get somebody to carefully check over the apartment. Make sure you return your key on time. Also, ask your landlord to inspect the property with you right before you move. This will help you win if you have to sue your landlord in small claims court to get your security deposit back. If your landlord does not return your security deposit within reasonable time, or 30 to 60 days, a tenant generally has 2 options for recovering their security deposit. The first is taking them to small claims court, and the second would be to file a complaint with the New York State Department of Law, which is headed by the Attorney General's office. If a tenant has attempted and is unable to settle their security deposit dispute with their landlord, they may want to contact the New York State Attorney General's office. A tenant can complete a rent security deposit complaint form, which is located on the Attorney General's website at www.oag.state.ny.us, or by calling 800-771-7755. Once the complaint form has been returned, the Attorney General's office may contact the landlord and give him or her the chance to respond to the complaint. A landlord who has no damage claim and is merely trying to keep the deposit may respond to this pressure. A tenant may want to sue their landlord in small claims court to recover the security deposit if they can prove that they did not cause damages to the apartment and they do not owe back rent. Small claims court is designed to be simple. You can sue another person without having a lawyer represent you. If your landlord refuses to give back your deposit because he or she claims that you damaged the apartment, you should bring witnesses, photos, and other evidence with you to court to prove that you did not cause the damage. If your landlord refuses to give back your deposit because he claims that you owe back rent, you should bring with you to court copies of receipts, money orders, or canceled checks that you used to pay rent. If you choose to go to small claims court, it is important to know that your landlord can make a counterclaim for any amounts that your landlord believes you still owe after the security deposit has been deducted. This means that your landlord could be awarded a judgment if the judge finds your landlord's evidence and arguments more convincing than yours.